Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, August 16th, 2022. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. And today it is a hot one here in Southern California. Welcome, Frankie. Welcome. Happy to see you. Shelby Jack, welcome. I'm the man. Welcome. And anyone following us over on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, welcome to you too. Okay, so hey, Power Girl, welcome. I'm going to stop it here. Okay, so yesterday we had a lively conversation about jealousy, and today I want to talk about teenagers in the workplace. Are we disrespecting teenagers in the workplace? And it seems more and more adults are yelling at teenagers in restaurants, fast food places, and retail stores. Do teens have bad attitudes, or are the adults the problem? So that's what I want to talk about. I've read a couple of stories about teenagers getting hassled, from adults, in places of work. And yesterday I was at the market, and this was in the evening, and one of the um, uh, one of the bag people or bag persons, whatever, was a young girl, and she looked to be about 17, and two guys, two customers ahead of me, which was a male, was just yelling at her, and telling her to hurry up. And he wasn't going to buy a bag. Yes, in California, it's 10 cents for a bag if you don't bring your own. And he bought his own bags, but she didn't want to use them because she said that they were pretty bad and disgusting, and she didn't want to touch them. Which the cashier said at that time that they had the right to refuse to bag anything. If they don't want to touch your bag or whatever, they don't have to. Now you can say, well, they should wear gloves, whatever, but some of the bags that people bring back are pretty gross. And why you would want to put groceries in bags like that is beyond me. But he's yelling at this girl, calling her, a stupid bee, and calling her dumb, and you shouldn't be working here anyway. You need to, go to school because you're so. I mean, he just was just reading her the right act. The manager had to come over, blah blah blah. Needless to say, this customer did not get a bag. His things were put in his grocery cart, and he exited the store. So the customer who was next, was trying to. I mean, the girl looked like she was in tears, and the cashier asked her, why don't you take a break? She's like, no, whatever. So she's there, and she's trying to do her job, whatever. So when it was my turn, I always bring my own bags in. I'm not paying 10 cents. I always, after every time I use a bag, I spray them down, wipe them off. But that's just the way I am, And I asked her how old she was. Well, she was 16. And so my question is, welcome Scooter, Mr. A, and the only crazy lady. Welcome, welcome. Yes, people are evil. So my question is, are we disrespecting teenagers in the workplace? Because I remember way back when I was a teenager and I worked, um, people didn't treat you like that. You know, they didn't treat anyone like that, whether you're 16, 60, whatever. You go into a place of business, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. You pay for your stuff and you leave. But are people harder on teenagers now? And you do hear stories, like I said, where adults seem to be yelling at teenagers more. So, what do we do? You know, do teenagers have bad attitudes or is it the adults? And I ask, is it the adults? Because when you go into other places where teenagers are not working, if you go into a restaurant, people are yelling at you because, you know, slow service, why can't I get somebody to take my order? The food's coming, you know, too slow, whatever. But at the same time, you also know if you go into some of these places that they don't have the help that they had 2 years ago. It's just not there. So to me, for some of these places, if you go in and you're complaining that the lines are too long, whatever, you know that a lot of these places are pretty much begging for help and people are not, you know, going for these jobs or whatever, you know. But at the same time, it comes down to essential workers. So if a teenager is taking this job, you know, usually is to have some money in their pocket, or they could be working to help out at home for whatever reason. But does it seem like that teenagers are getting the brunt of everyone's bad day? So let's see. Scooter says it's social media's fault. Um, welcome, Stinger. Scooter says there are too many people that have no control or decorum. I agree. Um, thank you, Scooter. And I was thinking about you the other night, Scooter, when I was watching the documentary on the Rolling Stones and Keith Richards. I was thinking about you, um, and how much I know you're into music and how knowledgeable you are. So no nightmares. It was all good, all good. So, I mean, guys, what do you think? I mean, do you think that um, teens have bad attitude? And I'm specifically saying teenagers as opposed to adults in the workplace, because I think if you go into a store and you yell at an adult, I think is different from yelling at a teenager. Um, Number one, I think an adult would probably be able to um, handle it more. I'm not saying they would be able to handle it better, but I think they would be able to handle it more. Whereas a teen, you know, they're still, it could be their first job, you know, they're still getting their feet wet. What do I do? So, Scooter, you're boo. Oh boy. I don't think you should yell at anyone in a place of business. No, you shouldn't. Um, but on the opposite side, do you think that young people, when I say young, um, I'm keeping it under the age of 18 for right now. Do you think when they go into a place of business, they're showing respect? I mean, and then again, I don't think there's really much respect going on nowadays anyway. But um, do you think that teens are getting hit harder when it comes to how they're treated when a consumer goes into a place of business? Okay, Shelby says it all depends on their home life. Never ever, age doesn't matter. Okay, all right, all right. So again, do you think teens are getting it worse? And again, do you think they have bad attitudes? Okay. Okay. And I agree with you, Scooter. Scooter says way too many kids are not taught self respect or general respect. Um, and Shelby says to Scooter, that could be true. But I'm still asking, wait, hold on. Let's see. Hello, Heiko. Heiko is over on YouTube. So welcome, welcome. So again, do you think that, everyone's saying that teens have a bad attitude and their home life and they're not, being taught, but are they also getting disrespected more so in the workplace than adults? You guys are not answering my question. All right, that's a parental issue, and I taught my children manners. Oh boy. Well, Shelby, if we could, unfortunately, everyone doesn't teach their children manners, and a lot of adults they don't have manners either. So, so let me ask this. Let me ask another question. Let me put it another way. Do you guys think that people under the age of 18 should work? Because there are some places that do not hire anyone under the age of 18 anymore. I mean, when I was younger, I could work at the age of 14. You had to get a work permit, but you had a work permit at the age of 14, and I had a job at 14. And Scooter says exactly SBS. Okay, in regards to people not having respect. So, do you think? Okay, so yes, they should start at a young age and learn about responsibility. Okay, so do you think that if your child does not have manners, decorum, or responsibility, say at the age of 15, and you tell them to go get a job, and they go get a job, and they're disrespecting the manager or customers in that workplace, is it the company's fault that they're working for, or is it your fault? They should be fired. Okay, so that would be my fault. Okay, so now I'm asking the question again. Do you think teenagers are being disrespected in the workplace? Do you think that when they go to work, when a teen is working, do you think that teenagers seem to be getting disrespected from consumers more so now than before? Do you think that they are being disrespected in the workplace? Some, yes. Okay. So, Shelby, do you think that some of that disrespect is because they're disrespecting the consumer? Or do you think that just because of just the way everything is right now, that um, uh, some people think that it's easier um, to pick on a teenager as opposed to picking on the adult that's in the other aisle working? Oh, you know what, Scooter? You're right. Some people are creating TikTok moments, and you have a lot of you got a lot of those TikTok moments because people are idiots. And Scooter says, "Yeah, yeah." Oh, that's a whole different. That's a whole different show. TikTok is easier to pick on the child. So, okay, so do you think that if a child is being picked on, someone under the age of 18, they're being picked on by a customer, And you see some adults who, when a customer gets unruly and what have you, if they start cursing you out, whatever, um, an adult worker would say something back. They say something nasty, whatever. Do you think a teenager has a right to do that if they're being picked on? And Scooter says, funny thing though, the kids I deal with here in Tulsa are mostly respectable. I'm sorry, respectful and nice. You know what, Scooter? And I think that's great because nowadays, just finding anybody who is respectful or nice seems to be fewer and fewer. Let's see, so, but do you think that a teenager has a right to be rude back to that consumer? And yes, you can say, well, an employee should never be rude to a customer. The customer is always right. First of all, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe the customer is always right. Um, but disrespectful people are easy to find. Just watch Twitter or TikTok. And Scooter, it's been a while since I posted on TikTok. I don't. I just don't have the time. And then you see some of the stuff that people post. It's like, Scooter says, I know you're on your social media rant and you're always telling me to stay on topic. And I'm trying. Okay. So Shelby says, if the adult saw it happen, but the child should not say anything, let the adult take care of it. Okay. But Shelby, what if, um, what if the adult is busy, and you say, let the adult take care of it. But what if you're in a store, you're working in a store, you're 16, 17, you're working in a store, and it's busy, um and this adult just goes off, and they go off in their little rant, whatever, and you're trying to say, oh yes sir, no sir, what people you usually do, but then they start to get, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more personal, and the adult is not around. What do you, as a teenager, as a young person, do? Because I do believe that, welcome Mr. B, I do believe that people uh, tend to take advantage of younger people as opposed to an older person who is working. And what I mean by that, I mean that that same person who is going off because the line is too long or they think you're going too slow, whatever, they'll hold their tongue if it's an adult as opposed to a child. So this is what I'm saying. Does that child or younger person have the right to say something back that may not be so nice? Scooter says I have to deal with spanking. So that's complains a lot. And B says, who's adulting today? Walk away. Okay, yes, people do take advantage, but Scooter, if you're at work and you're behind the counter and you have other customers behind you, can you just walk away? Okay. So you walk away and that person's still there. Okay. And let's say you go get the manager, and, if the manager's not busy, the manager comes over. But if you walk away and the manager's busy, whatever, and you're holding up this line, what do you do? So if the manager is busy with someone else, and again, there's this line and this ranting person who is spitting out in insults. Okay, ask someone else to help with the idiot. Okay, all right. So Scooter, so are you saying that no matter what, that teen worker should not say anything negative or nasty to that adult at all? Okay. All right. So if that teen was 23, 24, 25, would you say it's okay for that person to say something mean or nasty to the person who's ranting and raving and giving insults? And I don't mean that as soon as the person starts, being nasty, as soon as the consumer is being nasty, then you say something back. Because, you do go through your yes, sir, no, sir. You do try to calm the situation down. But if they just keep going on and on and on, and I've seen people get personal. I mean, is it okay for the older person to say something? Okay, so you're saying no. So you're saying so no matter what. All right. Okay. Okay. So guys, then let me ask this. I'm going to take it into another direction, and um, I'm going to take it away from the team, and I'm going to take it to the people who are working at the door. And when I say the door, I'm talking about if there is a greeter there. Okay, like in Walmart, or other stores, you have people who stand there and just say welcome, 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 whatever. So what if a greeter says welcome, and they may say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, you can't bring your dog into the store," or "I'm sorry, sir, you're going to have to put on a pair of shoes." And these people are not doing it. Don't tell me what to do. I'm bringing my dog, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and they're not listening. Do you just let that person go ahead and go? But if the next person that comes in, and if I'm not wearing my shoes and I'm bringing my dog, or whatever, you just let that person go. So don't tell me not to do the same thing that you just allowed this other person to do. I guess what my question is, shouldn't we as a consumer, first of all, respect the rules of the store, whether you like them or not, but also respect the person who is working there? And should we get upset if that employee is not so nice back after we've been not so nice to them? Okay, Shelby, I was just using that as an example. If someone just said, don't bring your, I'm not necessarily Walmart, but somewhere else, if into a restaurant or whatever, and they said, don't bring your dog, whatever. I was just saying if someone was basically saying that. Um, so how far do you allow someone to push you? Yes, you all say go get the manager and go get this, but sometimes managers are not always around. And a lot of times with a lot of places now, yes, respect these days is gone. So at what point do you push back as a person working in that store? At what point does my age not matter? Yes, I am 16, but you're treating me like crap, and you're talking to me like crap, and I'm trying to be nice to you. At what point can you push back? Especially if there's no one around to help you. I mean, you go into some of these places. I mean, even if you go into like 7-Elevens, late in the evening or late at night, a lot of times there's only one person working there, which is dangerous. But usually there's only one person working there, and you have one person dealing with an idiot that comes in, and you have, or if it's really, if people are coming over after coming into the store after they've been out at a club or something and it's busy, you can't always just walk away because there may not be anybody to help you. What do you do? And a lot of times these young people are the ones that are getting stuck. Okay, those are my favorite people. Okay, I missed that one. Okay, okay. Mr. A says, you only get one chance with me. If the teenagers are doing their job, there's no reason to talk down on them. And Mr. A, I guess, well, actually, that is part of my point. There's no reason to talk down to anyone. But again, my thing is, you can call the police, you can call the manager, but there's going to be that span of time when you're still waiting and you're stuck with this person. And what do you do if, again, you may call the police, and while you're waiting for them, you still have someone who is behind them who's getting antsy because they want to check out, but they're dealing with the idiot that's in front of them. You have to have some line of defense. Mr. A is right. Scooter says he would be the one in line that will tell the idiot to step away. Okay. All right. So again, so is everyone saying that no matter what, no matter how old you are, you're working in a place and someone starts yelling and screaming at you, that you just do nothing and you say nothing? Welcome, Juju. Let's see. Pop it over there. Okay. So everyone's just saying don't do nothing. You know, um, I'm okay. Scooter says, I believe there are more people in the world that will do the right thing when an idiot acts like this in a place of business. Okay, Scooter. So I'm going to take it away from the place of business and I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go to school. So school is starting up. Kids are starting to go back to school. Are you that person who tells someone to just walk away from a bully as opposed to confronting that bully? If someone keeps messing with you or messing with your kid or whatever, do you just tell them to ignore them, or do you tell them to confront them? Because see, me, I am someone who confronts a bully, and that's how I see people in stores. They are bullies, because if you ignore them, whatever, they sooner or later they may stop messing with you. All they're going to do is set their target on someone else. And if you confront them, to me, you're just shutting them. You need to shut them down. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. As a parent, I will be quick to get involved. I do that in stores as well. Okay, so Scooter, were you ever one of those parents that said just ignore them, or did you, like you said, you your kid came home saying so and so was doing this, whatever, that you do go up to the school and you say something, you make your presence known, and how you feel known? Okay, you're saying, well, that depends. Shelby, so do I. I mean, I'm not saying I want my child to be a wuss, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I am aware that this is going on, and if it doesn't stop, you're gonna be dealing with me. Because again, I think that a lot of bullies, if you just go the ignore them route, they may or may not direct their attention somewhere else. Nowadays, they are not doing that, but they'll direct their attention to someone else. And then it's someone else's problem, but the bully is still the bully. I don't go to school. I go to the kid's house. Okay, Mr. A. Okay. I am with you on that one. Hey, Shorty. And Scooter says that's where those charges that's where those charges come from. I think the charges would come from going if you act out in school as if the adult acts out in school as opposed to acting out in front of the house. And even Scooter, and then think of what you just said. That's where the charges come from. That we're now a society where you're going to charge the person who is confronting the bully as opposed to the bully. I mean, that's crazy. Mr. A says, I don't play bully. My kids know how to end things right there. And Mr. A, I am with you 100%. And that's when I say, when you are in a store, and I understand that a store and you're working, at a company, whatever, it is a lot different from school, or if you're on the playground or something like that. But a bully is still a bully. A bully is still a bully. So, at least in my book, they are. Let's see. Right. I like public confrontations. Bring the parents to the school. Okay. Shorty, I don't think anybody likes bullies except for the bully and the people who are raising them. Because I think bullies raise bullies, and I understand that you have your home life and blah blah blah. But um, okay, so again, I say the person who is in the store acting like an idiot, they are a bully. So shouldn't the employee be able to tell that bully a couple of things or two? Mr. A says, I tell my kids to walk away from words, but if someone touches them, they have all the right to knock the bully out. Okay. All right, Mr. A. Politely and respectfully, yes. And then Shorty says, yes, if they don't, I will, because I had to have it with me one time before in the store. Okay. Mr. A wants to come up. Welcome, welcome.
Hello,
Hey, 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 hey.
what's up? What's up? It's kind of hard to type. It's funny, we were just having this conversation yesterday. My son had open house for school yesterday, and I guess it's one of the kids that were going there. I was speaking to that I coached in football before, and he said, "Man, I had to go to a different school. I was getting bullied." And I said, "Well, what does that mean? What does it mean you were getting bullied?" He said, "Well, they were talking about me on the internet." And they wouldn't leave me alone on the internet. I said, so why don't you just turn the internet off? He said, well, everybody else tells me what they're saying. I said, well, they're just saying things, bro. They're not touching you. That's the, the thing about bullying is it's not the same as bullying as we know it. You know what I mean? Nobody's touching you. Nobody's beating you up every day. Nobody's taking your things. Like, they're just saying stuff. It's not this the bully word has gotten way out of control, I think.
Well, Mr. A, I'm going to push back on that a little bit, because you have some people, and even adults have done this. The To me, the internet is a way to bully. They may not touch you. A bully doesn't necessarily have to be someone that touches you, but the internet is a vast place, and a lot of times when you say things on the internet, you can delete it. You can take a post down, but it is still there. And even though people say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt you, words do hurt, and words do matter, and words can ruin a rep, and it can last a long time. And a lot of times with some of these kids, especially in middle school and in high school, you keep saying something about someone on the internet, that is being a bully, and that does hurt.
I mean, it might hurt your feelings, but I mean, it doesn't do anything to you. It's just words.
Okay, well
If I
then what do you
stood
say?
there and told you 100 times that you weren't nothing, it ain't gonna hurt you. might hurt your
Well, no,
feelings.
no, but you have some people who they if someone if someone consistently says that you're nothing, oh, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. You have kids that are killing themselves because they're being because of what is going on the internet. And I'm gonna switch it up on you, Mr. B. So let's say that the kid at school is consistently telling you that you're nothing, you're nothing, you're nothing, and you're saying, well, that's not going to hurt you. What if a parent was telling their kid, you're nothing, you're nothing, you're nothing? Do you think that that's not a big deal, and
That
they're just
that's
words?
that's that's totally different. That's completely different. That's your parents. That's your homestead.
But
That's
at
where
this
you're at peace.
right, but at the same time, though, you're supposed to be at peace at school or in the workplace. So if your peers
No, not
I
necessarily.
I I disagree with you on that one. But I mean, but
Well,
oh,
we're gonna
okay,
have to
yeah, we're gonna
disagree
have to
because home is
disagree.
completely different.
Okay,
Home is where you're safe haven. That's where you should be safe.
but
If your
shouldn't you?
parents are
Okay,
telling you that, then your parents ain't shit.
okay, but shouldn't you be safe when you go to school?
Safe, yeah, but safe, yeah. But kids have always talked about other kids. It's not a new problem. The only new problem is social media.
Okay, so I'm gonna push back a little bit more. So yeah, so social media has come in into play, and people are using it to do this, and this, and this. But before then, just because social media wasn't there and we probably didn't hear about it as much, you still had kids that were going to school or people going to work, and you had that one guy at work that always bullied someone, whatever, or said this, whatever. And Scooter says, can words change your character? I think that it can. I think for some people, and you may call them weak or whatever, but for words can hurt. So I don't know.
Like I said, it can hurt your feelings. It
Okay,
can't hurt you. It can hurt your feelings. It might make you sad or mad or whatever. But if your feelings get hurt and you're thinking about hurting yourself, I don't know. I don't know. Outside of your home, life, life,
okay, you're going in and out there.
life everywhere you go is gonna suck. Life's gonna suck.
Okay, I only heard a half of that, Mr. A, because you were going in and out. Okay, I'm gonna read what Shiley says some people have stronger thresholds than others. That's true. Shelby says it still resonates the same. Shorty says it can, and Scooter says, and now we are back to a participation trophy world. Um, and Scooter is telling Mr. A to get back in the truck. Um, okay, so Scooter, what do you mean by we're back to a participation trophy world? Are you saying because words are not supposed to hurt? Is that what you mean by a participation trophy world? I'm a little sorry. I'm a little slow with that one. And don't worry about it, Mr. A. I understand a lot of times we aren't in good areas. Well, let's make everyone's feelings opportunity. Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you are someone who constantly who goes to school, and let's say, and I hate to say it like this, but I'm going to say it just for context. Let's say you're the class nerd, okay, and people are constantly making fun of you, constantly, whatever. And you go home and you tell your parents, and your parents may say, "Oh, well, words are not going to hurt you. Just ignore them. Ignore them." But again, how much is your child supposed to take? So is it that you're trying to their feelings, their feelings? I mean, at what point do you step in, and I guess you're concerned about your child's feelings? You're concerned that these words apparently are getting to them. everyone can say, well, man up, or be a woman and be tough and whatever. But number one, everyone is not built the same, and like Shy Lady said, people have different thresholds. So I'm sorry, but words hurt and words matter. That's just my opinion. Let's see. Shelby says it's more where everyone should get some kind of reward. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, no, I know, I know what a participation trophy is. I just didn't know what Scooter meant in this particular conversation. Okay, words are words, neither positive or negative. You determine the value of the words. Let's teach people value themselves and not the words others use. Scooter, I agree with you 100%. But there's still that but. And Shorty says, I'll stop right away. I'll tell him to tell the teacher. And if it's still happening, I'm going out to the school myself. Okay. No, you make the words matter. I I disagree with you on that one. So again, we'll have to, and there is no but. Sorry, there is for me. For me. So we'll have to agree to disagree. Words do matter, and I think people know that words do matter. Just like that, there's just some things that you just don't say. I mean, words matter. I mean, I would hate for my child to go to school every day and have a classmate or another classmate saying, oh, you're stupid, you're this, you're dumb, you're poor or whatever. To consistently do that over and over and over and over and over. You can say, oh, but words don't matter, and they're only words, whatever. But they constantly hear that, which some kids do. That can start to mess with your head. And I would never want my kid to feel that they can't come to me because all my mother or father is going to say is, oh, words don't matter. Oh, just ignore them. Because then your kid may turn to someone else for help, and then you're wondering, well, what happened? I'm just saying. I'm getting close to the grudge list. Not my grudge list. Nope, 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 nope. And you're still saying it's a social media issue. Okay. And Shorty says it will mess with my psyche, and that's how you get these kids out here want to sit up there and kill all these other kids because nobody don't want to listen to him because they're getting picked on. Exactly, Shorty. Exactly. Nobody wants to listen. They just want to send them back and say, oh, words don't matter. Oh, this, and this, and this. Exactly. No one wants to listen. No one wants to listen. Then all of a sudden, your kid, picks up a gun and goes to, shoot this other kid. And it's like, well, I told you. It's like there's that threshold. No one wants to listen. No one wants to listen. While we're saying that, to respect other people, adults have to respect kids and listen to them. You know, if it's something that's on a repetitive basis, yeah, it may be words, but again, at what point do you step in? And that's when I say that if you're a teenager or whomever working in a store and you have this idiot that's coming up, and yeah, he may be saying words, whatever, but if this person just keeps getting out of hand and there's no one else to go to, sometimes you can't ignore them. Sometimes you have to say something back. I'm not saying that you're going to hit the customer or pull out a gun and shoot them, but sometimes these customers need to be put in their place. And scooters. You should have to take a test and get a license to use social media. Yeah, Scooter, but who are the ones who are giving the test and making the test? Because a lot of these people who are making laws today and tests today and what have you, I would nope. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But you do have a point. And if that were to happen, uh, half of the people in social media would be kicked off, for probably more than half. Have a test for social media. Well, you definitely need a test for TikTok. Society is doomed. Well, I say that all the time, that God is getting to the point where he's just shaking his head and so disappointed. So thank you everyone for liking the show. And CWA, welcome, welcome. So again, guys, is everyone of the mindset then? I just want to, because some people came in late, that no matter what, let's see. Yep. So, yep. God is. I truly believe he is. I think he's so disappointed, and he's like, I'm going to start over. I'm going to start over from scratch and just wipe us all out. So, is everyone pretty much of the mindset that if you're an employee, no matter how old you are, never ever be rude to a customer, even if the customer is acting like a total jackass, for lack of a better term? Frankie says no. Okay. And Frankie, do you want to say why? But I am with Shorty. Before my son was homeschooled, I'm going up to the school. But I should have been like Mr. A. go to the person's go to the person's house. Let's see. Okay. So anyone else have anything else that they would like to share? Everyone's quiet. Everyone's quiet today. Hey, Hanny J, welcome, welcome. And Jorge, welcome. Um, my thumbs have cramps. And Frankie says people need a lesson. Well, at least you can text with your thumbs. When I'm on my phone, I am using one index finger, and that's it. Uh, okay, and Frankie says people need a lesson. I agree. I agree with you. People do need to be taught a lesson. So let me ask you this, Scooter. Since you think that everything is social media's fault, before social media, do you think that the problems that we have now were out there? And when I say the problems we have now, I'm talking about with bullies, with disrespect, with all of that. Do you think that it was out there? It just wasn't as prevalent because there was not a platform. The only platform that you had was basically your mouth. If you were at school or at work or even in the street, people used to get up on the so-called soapbox and take a megaphone and say whatever that they wanted to say. Shorty, let's see, not in this great prevalence, okay? And Shorty says bullying somebody, it's been there, but it's got worse when social media came out. Okay. Um, I think people had more respect too. But again, like Shorty says, bullying was always there. So again, were all these issues that we have now always there? Was all that disrespect always there? Um,
How about now? Can you hear me now?
yes, Mr. A. Yes, yes.
Jesus, I lost service in the neighborhood I was going through. Sorry.
That is okay. You are back now. You wanted to say something else?
Oh, then I just got back into hearing what you were talking about. Just wanted to see if you could still hear me or not.
Yes, you're coming in loud and clear. Loud and clear. Okay, Shelby says, "See on social media, you don't have to identify yourself." And then and that's another thing. Okay, so um, let's talk about Yelp for a moment. All right, so you go into a store, and let's say you have an argument with um, someone that works there. Whether they're wrong, you're wrong, whatever. You have an argument, or they don't clean your clothes right, or they didn't fix your food right, whatever, and you go on Yelp and you leave a bad review. Do you think a business has the right to want to take it down? Because you have a lot of businesses now who are pushing back and fighting back and um, not being able, you know, if you gave someone a bad review, they can literally fight it. Do you think that they have the right to do that, or
I
do you
think they
say
should have the right to rebuttal.
okay, but not take it down?
I mean, once it's up, I don't know, can they take it down? I
Yeah,
think
they
they should
can.
have
They
at least have the
they
right to explain themselves.
Well, I mean, no, they have a right to take it down, and they also have and Yelp also bans people from commenting for a certain amount of time. And so do you think that as a business that you say, well, you're in this business, so you should be open to all critique? And that may be true. Like if you're, because I was told, you're in the public eye, and you're on this platform, and if someone says something that you don't like, then you shouldn't go back and say something. I may not go back and curse you out, but I think I have the right, whether I have this platform or not, to push back. And Mr. A, that's just like you said, you have a right to rebuttal.
Right. A Scooter, Yelp is a website you can get on to find like restaurants per se, and then you can read reviews on wherever you're planning on going.
Yeah, and it's just not. I mean, it's any type of business. If a contractor came to your
Right.
house, I mean, it is. I mean, it is anything. So just go to Yelp.com, and you can put in a restaurant or whatever, and then you can see what people say. So do
See, I
you
think
think
that's where the internet kind of screws everything up too. Like instead of talking like normal human beings, I'd rather just get online and bash you and hurt whatever you have going on. Why can't you just be a human being and speak to people with respect?
okay? So, Mr. Ray, let's say that I went to uh, ABC restaurant and the service was really bad. I'm not saying because they were shorthanded or anything like that, but um, the people were rude. The place was dirty or whatever. Just I'm not even gonna say that the place was dirty. Let's just say that people were just rude. And I say something to the manager, whatever, and the manager is like, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. You don't think I have a right to go on Yelp and post something saying, you may not want to visit this place because this and this?
No, I'm not saying that you don't have the right to. I'm just saying that there should be some contact between you and whoever owns or manages the place to
Are
try
you
to write
saying
it first. And if it doesn't go well and the manager's an a hole too, well then do what you got to do. But I'm
so?
saying
You're
there should be steps before you just get online and bash somebody.
so would you say that if you went to that restaurant and that happened to you, and you spoke to the manager that same night while you were there, and it was not rectified, do you have the right to go to Yelp, or are you saying at that point maybe go to the corporate office or something and try to do something before you go and write a review? Or did that when you tried to attempt to?
But to be 100% honest with you, I've never wrote a review for anything. But yeah, I would go, to the highest person at that establishment. Like, look, this is what's happening. This is what's going on, and see if we can work it out. If not, I'll just leave.
Okay. All
But
right.
I'm not. I'm personally not going to go write a review.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you how I feel at the time, and then leave.
Okay. All right. And Shorty says bullying makes you second guess yourself, and being bullied makes you very insecure too. And it can. Yes, it can. Well, I have written many of a of a review, good and bad. I'll sit down and I'll write a good review faster than I'll write a bad one. And I am a letter writer, and I do write to corporations and what have you, to the higher ups. So I am one of those. So, but I mean, seriously, especially,
No, yeah, that's good. I
and
mean, of course,
you,
companies want that.
I mean, I'll like I said, I will call out someone who did an excellent job, a lot faster than I will for someone that didn't. But if someone didn't, yeah, you'll hear from me too. You will hear from me, and
Oh yeah,
sometimes,
but see,
is
I'm more of a person that likes to be. I like to see your face when I talk to you about anything, good or bad, because you can read somebody's, their body language and their facial expressions.
true, true, true. But again, you go to some of these places and you know um they don't rectify the problem. It's like, okay, I gave you a chance, and then when I put something on Yelp, don't get mad at me because I'm saying what happened and you didn't do anything. So I I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So,
yeah,
but
that's what it's there for. If they're not gonna deal with the issue at the time of the issue, then you feel like you need to leave a review, then that's what you do.
and I even think, now that I'm thinking about it, and we're having this conversation, I even think there probably should be a website for bullies. You have your no fly list and everything. I think there should be there should be a bully list. This person is a bully. So I don't know. I mean, that may be
I,
taking
I
it a
don't
little bit
I
too
don't know.
far,
I've
but
never
but
I've
but but
I've
I don't
never
I don't I
been
don't think so.
I've never been personally bullied, and my kids have never went through bullying. I mean, maybe there's been stuff said online, but being bullied person to person, I don't think none of my kids have ever went through that. But I teach my kids to stand up for themselves and
Oh
for other
yeah,
kids around them.
yeah, yeah, and that's why I say that whether you're in the workplace or whether you're being bullied at school or wherever, that to me you always have to say something to the person who is acting like the idiot, including if you are the worker and a customer comes in and a customer is yelling and screaming. I'm sorry, there are times when you know you don't deal with the man, you forget calling the manager ever. You need to say something back. You need to let these people know that they're not going to come into the store or even come up on you and talk to you in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, and I think also parents, a lot of parents that I know now I live out in the suburbs now, and I think parents approach their kids with white gloves for too long. They speak to them like they're kids for too long. They treat them like, they can't do things for themselves for too long. I, I don't know. I'd say once they're out of elementary school, it's time to talk to kids like people and not like kids. Not
True.
everything's going to go your way. Not everything you do is great. You're not the best. You're not always going to win. They have to be able to take adversity. Like if they lose and they throw a fit and you go get them ice cream to make them feel better, well, they didn't learn anything from losing.
Right. Right.
There's a winner and loser in everything. I don't care what anybody says. They don't keep scoring sports for no reason. There's a winner and there's a loser. And you have to be able to take both with with some humbleness and respect for everybody else.
No, you no. I mean, you are you are 100% right because um, one thing that I didn't do, and I would love to know. I think I asked you guys this question before. You know, when your children were little, and you played games with them, did you let your child win? I never let my son win, and people were like, "You don't let your son?" Nope, nope. But now when I see, because we are a big board game person, playing, we play board games in this house, you know, you know, we love board games. I don't think people even play board games anymore, But now it's like I watch him and watch him play and stuff, and it's funny because he's like this ruthless person, But I do not believe that you should allow a child to win just because. Well, just let them win, or just nope. You have to learn how to lose because there will not. There's no first place if there's no second. There has to be a last place in order for you to be first, and you cannot win all the time. And as my son was growing up, and we went to different things, and he would just look at these kids just having these meltdowns because they lost, and it was ridiculous. But again, that's just me.
Yeah, I've
And
so like when I coached football, we had a lot of kids, and when we would lose, we would have kids that would cry, but they would cry not because per se because they lost, but because they could have done things better. But then you have kids that as soon as we lose by 30, they're laughing, joking, smacking each other around. I'm like, look, man, you want to play this sport, but look at the heart that these kids have. They're over here devastated that we lost this game. They played hard and practiced hard, and you're over here playing slap ass like nothing ever happened. How do
mhm.
I justify putting you in the game when you don't care if we win or lose? You get to have an ice cream. Mommy's going to take you and get something nice for you because you tried. Good job, little Johnny. How do I justify to the other kid that comes and practices blood, sweat, and tears and he wants to win? How do I justify putting you in? Like
You
you have to know adversity, you have to know defeat, and you have to know how to overcome that. Not everything is rainbows and skittles. You know what I mean? Like you got to teach your kids how to overcome a defeat. You got to know how to lose because you're gonna lose.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you are going to lose it at least once in your life. It may not be in sports, but it will be in something else.
And I whoop my kid's butt in basketball all the time. He's 6 foot tall and half my size and weight, and he still can't beat me, and it drives him crazy to this day.
Well, I'm pretty sure maybe one day he will win.
The day I can't
Welcome,
walk will be the only way he beats me in basketball.
welcome, Nyamba. Oh, she's gone.
Well, I
All right.
gotta run in my house, so thanks
Well,
for having me up.
thank you for coming up because I was just about to say I'm about to end it, but thank you very much, Mr. A, for popping up.
All right, thank you for having me.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. So this is going to be a short show to today. But I appreciate, like yesterday, I appreciate everyone's input. I was re-listening to yesterday's show, and again, when it comes to jealousy, I just have to say we agreed to disagree. Thank you, Shy Lady, and tomorrow I hope you guys will be back. But I apologize for having to cut the show short today. But as always, I thank all of you guys for coming. So until tomorrow, go where the wind takes you. See you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you, Shelby. And Shorty, one day you're gonna have to pop back up. So Mr. A, Juju, Power Girl, Shy Lady, Frankie, everyone, thank you for coming. Mr. B was here. Let's see, Juju Scooter was here. Let's see, am I missing anyone? Heiko, thank you for popping over on Facebook. And Crazy Lady was here. Thank you guys all. And people over on Facebook, thank you so much. I do appreciate you. And on that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye.